Fletcher comes back out for the third to try and protect the Dodgers' 1-0 lead. You'll see Nairn, Moses, and the pitcher Guthrie, and if any of them reach, will start over again at the top of the order. Fletcher's needed only 29 pitches to this point. He's been just incredibly efficient. Now, he just needs to keep the Pirates off the balance and hope the offense can continue to add on. They missed a prime opportunity last inning, but they may be able to keep picking away at Guthrie and get into the Pirates' bullpen, which had to do quite a bit of work in their last series against the Reds. Maybe if they can face them tired arm, the floodgates will open. Now, though, Fletcher will just have to work at keeping the lead intact. He finishes his warm-up pitches for the inning. Ball fires a ball down to second, and it makes its way around the horn before finding its way back to Fletcher. Devante Nairn takes a couple more hacks from the on-deck circle, now approaches from the plate and stands in from the right side. Fletcher steps onto the rubber, goes into his wind-up, comes home, and we're off and running in the top of the third. That first pitch fastball is in for a called strike. Sun's just drifted down below the horizon, which means the lights have come on. More than that, though, it means that Nairn's affliction will begin to take over. As the second baseman, Nairn is now the subject of the curse of the swarm, a hex that's affected Pirate second baseman since the team's founding back in the 1880s. At sundown of every day, or at least every game day, a swarm of flies will begin crawling from the players' eyes. Infestation generally begins slowly, but within a half inning, half their face will be awash in a wave of moving flesh, dripping with the filthy insects and writhing maggots until they're utterly unrecognizable. Alright, Fletcher winds and fires in the 0-1 pitch. Nairn swings and misses on an off-speed pitch, and now Fletcher's ahead on the count 0-2. Nairn took over the curse from Rich Edmonds, who was traded during the offseason. At the moment, he's only showing modest signs of the curse. A few black specks have taken up residence on his right cheek, and the flesh beneath his eyelids is pulsing with an inhuman rhythm. But that's only the beginning. By the time the night's over, we won't be able to see a single facial feature below his ball cap. Really, no wonder that Nairn's numbers are down across the board this year, posting career lows in batting average, home runs, extra base hits, and walks. In the field, he's also committed a career high in errors, and we haven't even reached the All-Star break. Another fastball, this one fouled off back behind the plate. Needless to say, Nairn's performed far better in day games and night games this season. He's gotten a little better as he's adjusted to his condition, but still a far cry from what he was serving as more of a utility infielder in his first two seasons. Steps out of the box for a moment and time is called. He's pulled off his batting helmet, is currently swatting in his face now. Not sure if he's made much of a difference, but helmet's back on. Steps back into the box and Fletcher goes into his wind. And he struck him out. Fletcher gets him to chase at a curveball that hit the dirt. Paul picks the ball up, applies the tag, and Nairn's retired for the first out of the inning. Clearly seemed like Nairn never felt comfortable at the plate there. It's not surprising, given the condition. Managed to make some weak contact with the fastball, but is far from close on his two other swings. So now, shortstop Johnny Moses stands in, one out. Native of Florence, Italy, currently struggling this year. His batting average is well below the Mendoza line at 129. It's a rough come down for the player who burst onto the scene last season. Pitcher comes set. Starts him off with a curveball, and that misses inside. It's ball one. Moses was a late-round draft pick out of Gardner-Webb University 3 years ago. Whoever scouted him really had an eye for talent. Worked his way through the minors in no time before being called up early last season, and he led all shortstops in hits last year. Was leading off for the Pirates to start the season before the chemical spill during a play at the plate melted most of his face. A good bit of the flesh has been reconstituted now, fortunately, but one of his eyes is still simply a rancid pool of molten cornea that the team's doctors say won't heal for another month, despite of their application of holy water. 1-0 pitch, and that's a fastball low. Moses started to swing, but looked like he held up. Ball appears down to first base umpire, but Mitch Morrell holds his hands out wide, and that's ball 2. Moses' average may be down, strikeouts are up, but he's still drawing walks at a good clip. Second on the team despite the condition of his melted face. Admittedly, his condition does look fairly improved from when we last saw the Pirates back in Pittsburgh a few weeks ago. 1-8 in that series with 2 walks, 1 hit, just a bloop single that barely got over the head of the shortstop. Ahead in the count here, 2-0. The Pirates are looking for their first base runner here in the top of the third. Fletcher ready now. Pitches an off-speed offering. Moses hacks at it and sends it back to the backstop. Foul. Now 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike to count. 1 out, no one on. Top of the third with the Pirates trailing the Dodgers. Fletcher kicks at the rubber, peers in for the call, and now straightens and sets. Wind up. And the pitch. And that ball is driven high and deep to right field. Dudley drifts back at the track. Now settles under it. Lifts his glove and squeezes it shut. There's 2 away. Moses made pretty good contact with that, maybe got a little bit under it. The breeze is blowing out that way, but at the moment still wasn't quite strong enough to get that one over the fence. Now pitcher Zane Guthrie will come to the plate with 2 outs. Guthrie batting 111, 1 walk, 14 strikeouts, so Fletcher will be working with an advantage here. Base is empty. Goes into the wind and fires in a first pitch fastball that hits the dirt in front of the plate and bounces off Paul's chest guard all the way to the Dodger dugout. That's ball 1. Fletcher looked like he was trying to be aggressive there, but just overthrew the ball. Not sure you really need to do that here. Just fire strikes in. Should be able to get out of the inning without any damage. Keep the 1-0 lead intact. Instead, he's down early, 1 ball, no strikes. Paul gets a new ball from the umpire, feeds it back to the mound, and Fletcher wastes no time in going to the rubber, getting back into his windup. 1-0 pitches a curve, and that misses high. Now Fletcher's counterpart is ahead 2 balls, no strikes. The Dodger pitcher gets the ball back and takes a second to pace around the mound. Doesn't look too pleased with himself at the moment. And the way he stared in after that pitch, you may have thought that he deserved the call, but the home plate umpire refused to budge. So, back on the mound now, and he's readying himself for the 2-0 pitch. That fastball swung on and fouled back into the netting. A lot of pitches being fouled straight back this part of the inning. But Guthrie's been able to at least keep the Pirates hitters off balance. He definitely took something off of that one to get it over the plate, and Guthrie couldn't help himself, taking a hack at it, and doesn't make good contact, and now the count's 2 balls and 1 strike. Guthrie pauses for a moment, steps out of the box, take a look at his bat, make sure there's no cracks in it. Everything appears to be in good order, and he's back in the box now. Back in the box now, and the 2-1. Guthrie cues that one off the end of the bat, sends a little dribbler down the first base line. Kay scoops up the ball, turns and takes it to the bag for the 3rd out. It's a 3 unassisted. And the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, none left. After 2.5 innings, it's Los Angeles 1, Pittsburgh nothing. We'll be back in just a moment with the bottom of the 3rd. You're listening to KDLA, your home for Dodger baseball.